Okay, there we go. Now it's recall. Okay. Do you see any holes?
Sounds very wrong, but yeah, I see one. I see one.
Oh. So that's what they were using the wood for. Come over on my side, come over on my side. What would they be using the wood for?
Oh.
They brought a lot of plywood for us.
Yeah, okay. I see a hole right there.
Oh, I also see a bird.
Yeah, but that's not what, oh, there is a bird. It's a bird. Anyways.
The only tree that remains.
The only tree that remains? Yeah.
Right here. And it's dead.
So, we're just looking for some, like, tree holes, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the only...
A lot of the trucks, they pulled them up and then they ran them over for nobody to notice.
Or...
Oh, I see one, I see one.
Where?
There's another one right here.
Oh, yeah. Right there.
Yeah, but the tree hole.
Right about there.
I remember it used to be a tree wake right here somewhere, right?
Yeah. I think that's where the hole used to be, right? Like, that's where the tree used to be, I think.
The good times when we were riding up here a lot.
Ow.
Okay?
No.
There's a possible way. Maybe we can... Another hole.
Yeah, this looks like a tree hole right here. Might be. You know, I like these cameras. Where'd you get these from?
No,
Honestly? Does it
part
need
of the tree.
Does it need like AA batteries or like charging batteries?
Batteries right here.
Oh, like just yeah. Okay. Oh, I think I see another one.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that's a small one.
That might be all.
Oh, yeah, there's another one right over there.
Yeah, I see it.
Actually, no, that's the tire track.
Oh, never mind. Okay. What? What? Someone loves.
Oh.
Someone loves Doritos. There's like 2 of them there. Over there. What? Oh.
Someone was causing a fire. Hold on. What's in here? Why do I feel like there's an open bag in here somewhere? Oh, nah.
No way. I don't think we should eat them though. There's raccoon prints all over the box. So I don't think we should eat that. Aren't we supposed to be finding tree stumps?
But someone was causing a fire here.
I don't see any more. Right here looks like there was one here, but I don't think so. Right here, does that look kind of like a small tree to you? Might be.
Nah.
Okay, but like...
Probably like a cat animal. Oh, maybe. Maybe because it's kind of like, you see?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's where a tree used to be. Yeah, there's roots.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where a tree used to be.
Oh, there's more.
These poor trees, man. All they want is just have a simple life out here.
Make a treehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that'll actually be sick. Make a treehouse out here.
Yeah, I miss the old one over there. I think that's all, honestly.
Well, you can see a lot of the roots over there, though.
Yeah, there's like a lot of roots over there. A lot of roots.
Okay, well, I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that's all, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Also found this.
That looks like a construction piece for like a car. Oh my god.
Hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Okay.
Do we see any more stuff?
Well, your Nana doesn't really want too long of a video, so like.
No, she does.
Oh, she wants a long video?
No. She like this.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, come on. Why'd you have to get it out of frame? Hold on. Stop. Face it towards me. Dun 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 dun. Okay, let's go.
You can turn it off.
Okay, one last bit of footage. This is the last time you'll ever see us.
Okay, so this is March 10th of 2023. I wasn't going to do a video. I was just going to let this stuff that I've got up right now sit. But, you know, I can't drop the ball on this, people. I just can't. I'm in a web of corruption here, okay? And you know what? From this point forward, I live in a slaughterhouse, okay? This is not a home. It never was a home because it wasn't intended to be a home. And that's why I've had so many issues while living here for the last 13 years. Okay? That's the first thing. So it deserves its title because my family's been slaughtered. I don't care. You don't like it? Too fucking bad. That's the reality of it. Go into your household and take just randomly 3 or 4 people out of your whole house and get rid of them. Throw them out the door, stomp on them, you know, do whatever you want. Just get rid of them, okay? And let them disappear. And then you can go back into your family and you can tell everybody how much you missed them after you freaking killed them off, okay? Basically, if you don't sympathize with my situation in terms of what's happened to my family, okay? If you want to trivialize what's happened to my family, like for example, like, okay, I'm not going to rush with this. I don't care. Like, I'm in a slaughterhouse, people. And even if I would have stayed quiet and never went to City Hall and discovered that there was a bribe paid, okay, clearly these guys over there, they were starting even before they had the meeting. We have that on video, okay? Busting up the ground, tearing up the trees, you know, boarding up the house, right? All in a space of 48 hours from the time March 6th came, okay? In terms of they started in the morning, the meeting wasn't until 7, so they knew that they had the green light, people, okay? They don't even have the balls to register a legitimate company in terms of a name. They have to use numbers. And this is not the first group of Punjabi men that do this, okay? Apparently there's like 3 different companies' numbers, I guess. Maybe that's why I didn't see the numbers. Because they're using different numbers to mask what's going on out here in terms of the corruption. The point is, even if I would have stayed quiet and said nothing and did nothing, okay, they'd still target me and my family because they've been targeting me and my family. You move into a house like this as a renter, you're automatically targeted and written up to be exploited after they figure out what's the best way to exploit you. And they will take what they want from your family and then they'll blame you for it. Yeah. So it wouldn't have mattered whether I stayed quiet or not because it's been happening. Andre, Sierra, John, Shamay, Sierra again, Amari. With being gang stalked because now they want to flush me out of this house so they can move in their UN soldiers. Yeah. As they plot and scheme how to tear down the next 3 houses. Yeah. To guarantee a fixed population in terms of the people living in those buildings who will eventually eat their bugs. As that food is being cooked up in some fucking garage with rats running around in it, okay? Because they're saving money and they're so frugal. Yeah, they're not frugal people. There's nothing frugal about them. Okay. So, We know that my family's been targeted. We know that I never moved into a quote-unquote home. It was never about move in, be happy, stay as long as you want, build a life, we won't raise the rent, don't worry. No, it wasn't anything like that, people. It was almost right from the freaking get-go. You don't like it, you can move. No, I don't want to fix the fucking leaky pipes. No. Yeah, okay. Well, the pipes are still leaking. They're leaking all over the province. Okay, when you have leaky pipes, that's a signature of emotional disruption. Okay? When they leave you with leaky pipes and backed up sewage and whatever, and backed up mainline pipes and whatever, is because they play on the emotion. And that's all it's been, is one big emotional roller coaster. To which has brought me to the realization that this is a slaughterhouse, and it always has been a slaughterhouse, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change, people, until it's torn down and replaced with a shell of a building that's going to be full of cockroaches, full of bed bugs, full of mice in less than 20 years from now. Doesn't take long for those critters to take root in those types of buildings. Okay? Because they travel through the baseboards, people. And I highly doubt any of these buildings are earthquake safe. I highly doubt it. So build enough of them, sooner or later we're going to get an earthquake like Turkey, and they're all going to come crashing down. Oh, how convenient for the government. They just got rid of 100,000 people by what? The fate of the elements? Yeah, no. More like probably HARP, their energy weapon. And they wanted to get rid of their problem en masse. So they took them out all at one time, if they're not slowly but surely poisoning them with their cricket flour. Okay? I'm just saying. And I'm like, why did you do that, Judy? You should just stay quiet. Now they're really looking at you and plotting and scheming how they can hurt you, as if they haven't hurt you enough. As if they haven't hurt you enough. You just pissed them off. You stirred up the hornet's nest. That's what I did, people. And I'm like, don't worry about it, because they were already targeting you, so what's the difference? You live in a slaughterhouse. The more you realize what the fuck you're living in, maybe the better it is for you to protect yourself somehow, at least go down swinging. You know, don't let them take you out that easy. In terms of killing me, people. Killing me. I'm not talking about just kicking me out of the house. I'm talking about fucking killing me, okay? Because we're dealing with ruthless people that like to kill things, including trees and the wildlife. You think it just stops and starts with trees and wildlife? No, that's not where the big bucks are. Okay, I don't want to get sour. And I'm like, okay, well, don't be afraid. Just stand up to them. Doesn't matter how many come charging at you, just stand up to them. Life is one big barrel of adventure, right? If you can roll off a fucking mountain and get out of that problem, you can handle this problem, because you've been with this problem for a long time. Your life has to mean something, at least for somebody else. If not for yourself and your family, then at least for somebody else. So the more people realize that these houses that they're renting from these so-called upstanding citizens, they need to realize that they're renting a slaughterhouse. Okay, when you go looking at a house to rent, just keep that in mind. And are you willing to pay to be slaughtered? Because that's basically what you're setting yourself up and your family for. Because that's the trend in British Columbia, Canada. From house to house to house, from district to district to district. Lucy seems to think this is only happening in Wally. No, it's happening all over. When we take Amari to the children's hospital and we take a taxi, it's like a 45-minute drive to get out to the children's hospital, right? Straight through, right? You go from district to district in Burnaby and Vancouver, you see the same thing. House after house after house, all boarded up. If they're not torn down and something else like these box buildings are being built. Okay, it's everywhere. That's why they use their freaking numbers, people. This is organized religion participating in organized crime that's being facilitated by federal, provincial, and municipal governments. And they target you. The less money you have, the easier it is to target you and your family. So what does a cow do when they're in a slaughterhouse? They can't escape. Now, can they? No, they can't. Isn't that just the perfect scenario? Well, it's kind of like that for me. I can't escape. I have to face my abusers, people. I have to be prepared to be cut up with those machetes. Oh, sorry, Punjabis like swords. I have to be prepared to be cut up with swords. Whether I survive that attack, I don't know. I just know I'm under attack with their kind. Okay? They speak with forked tongue. They come with, I don't know. They're mean. They've been mean. They just mask it over with diplomacy. But at the end of the day, they're running slaughterhouses from house to house to house. Yeah. So who wants to stay in a slaughterhouse? I don't. Who wants to move into another slaughterhouse? I don't. But I'm going to call it for the way I see it. I'm going to call it for the way I've been experiencing it with my own family. In this house. Which was never a home. So, anything I ever did in this yard was fruitless. It was a lie, people. Not a lie for me. My heart was in the right spot. But for the ones that set up my family for slaughter and were successful at removing 3 of them and injuring 1 for life permanently, severely, and then abandon them to the government because it's the government's responsibility to look after what they did. Just like it's the government's responsibility to house me, even though these so-called fine, I don't know what they are the ones that created the problem en masse. Okay, en masse. I'm just a drop in that big bucket of homeless, people facing homelessness, people facing God knows what they're facing when they're being slaughtered in their own houses. Okay, in terms of get out. Who cares if you die? Sounds like a slaughterhouse to me. And if you don't want to get out, well then we'll make sure you get out because you will die in your house. How convenient for them. Isn't it very convenient for them? Of course it's convenient for them. Debbie died in her house. How convenient for them. Debbie was a city worker. Apparently my neighbor over here was telling me that there was people trying to walk into Debbie's house and she was having to shoo them out. And then Debbie died. Isn't that interesting? And that house has been up for sale. That's owned by Punjabis now. Isn't that interesting? I mean, we're not surprised that Debbie was a Caucasian. No coincidence there. No, of course not. You don't know what it feels like knowing that you live in a slaughterhouse, okay? Until you accept it, you don't know what it feels like. You have to first realize it, and then you have to accept it. I'm at the accepting part, people. After all this time, this is where I'm at with it. And the production line is just getting, like, working harder, right? Because we've got those ones now, the corner, wanting these 3 houses. Plotting and scheming how they can get rid of the tenants. Yeah. And who goes first? Yeah. Do you see? Isn't that what they do with cows? They corral them. You know, they lead them over here, right? They separate them, and they slaughter them one after another. As the cows around them are listening and watching and can smell what's going on. Well, it's the same thing out here. No different. No different, people. No different. This is war. Yeah, this is war. So when you're in war, I guess you have one or two things to do. You can lay down and cower and let them kill you at their whim, at their pleasure, at their convenience. Or you can fight back and scratch all the way until the end. Don't make it easy for them, because they're not making it easy for you. They're hunting you. They just don't do it in the so-called traditional sense. That's why you don't notice it, because you're too busy caught up with the fucking drama around it, with that cortisol going, with that fear. They like to keep you afraid. They do things to keep you afraid, hoping you'll make mistakes, so it's easier to swat at you when you're not looking. Yeah. How could that possibly be a home, people? That's not a home. That's something a cow would be feeling and going through as they're being pushed through the assembly line for that final. Yeah. Or any animal for that matter. It doesn't have to be a cow. It could be sheep. Anything. So, I have to figure out how to get out of this slaughterhouse so I can go move into another one. Because that's all you're going to find in British Columbia, Canada, are slaughterhouses. You're not going to find a home. These Punjabis and Muslims and whatever they are, when it comes with this kind of stuff and their organized religion, they don't see any house as a home. It's nothing more than investment to reap every penny in profit that they can get out of it while they own it, basically. Just so they can demolish it and then come back and say, we're property developers and we're trying to make the community better with their fake trees. Yeah. Building their buildings over dead souls that died on the property because of them. That building over there. People being shot in the bush, left for 2 weeks to rot. That's what that building stands on. Yeah. As that whole piece of property was covered with homeless people. Yeah. Because of what these landlords did when they started flushing out their basement suites. Yeah. So they could raise the rent by 1,500%. Yeah. That's what I mean. Slaughterhouses. where do you go when you leave a slaughterhouse? And that's assuming I'll even be allowed to leave. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's a hunting party going on. It's been going on for a long time. I don't even know why I'm alive anymore. I don't. They're just torturing me, that's all. I must be feeding off of that energy. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm going for surgery in this eye. First. The quote-unquote, I think it's this eye, the good eye. I'm going for laser surgery, I think, in the left eye. I don't know. I'm going for surgery in one of my eyes. I think it's the good eye. And they're going to change the cataract. And while he does that, he takes a little pipe cleaner and he goes around, what is it called? The pupil? On the outside, right? Rotor-roots it like a gutter around a house. And then he puts on the cataract. There are complications. I could have blood in my eye for 2 weeks. Who knows? I could get a really bad infection. Wouldn't that just be grand? So I might be going blinder sooner than we think. Alright. But that's just easier to slaughter me. That's all. Oh, am I not surprised, people? Who do you think works in these eye clinics out here? A whole lot of Punjabis. Took an awful long time to get a referral for the eye doctor. I went in April 31st of 2022. And that Punjabi, Gupta, called me, her office, and I think it was end of January of 2023. It was either that or end of February. I think it was the end of January. But I'm already seeing somebody else because, I went to the hospital. The point is, people, they don't just target you in your house. I've been trying to tell you this for a long time. They target you through your medical files and whatever it is that you need. If they don't want you to have it, you're not going to get it. They'll make it very difficult for you to get it. And then they'll add on added pressure and burden to get out in the fucking yard and put that first before you put your eyesight first. Because if you don't work in the yard, you're going to lose your house, even though the yard is designated to be ripped apart. Yeah, okay. You see how backward, assward thinking it is? Yeah. Because it's a slaughterhouse. It was never a home. That's why. Houses like this aren't homes. They're slaughterhouses, so be careful before you go off and rent one. Yeah, be careful. You'll always be on the run. Yeah, unless, of course, you want to settle for one of their boxes with a bag of bugs. Yeah, then maybe they might leave you alone when they're not spying on you in your suite, because they're spying on you. They bug these places, right? You know it. Don't fool yourself. You can't change it because you can't find it. You don't know where it is, but it is here. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. Andre and Jude, they went over there and they recorded what was left. Because I was talking to somebody that was at that meeting. I don't know. She knows more stuff about this stuff than I do. Anyway, she called me back or something, and she told me that whatever those guys were doing with trees over there, they didn't have a permit. I said, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Right? If Andre wouldn't have been out in the back running around doing what Andre does, I would never even known. Right? It's not like I stick my nose outside each and every time I hear a noise, right? Oh, he's so sad, people. You don't even know how sad he is with the idea that he can't be going up and down the alley with his little friend with the bike. Because these bastards are making it unsafe with their big-ass trucks coming in. Yeah. Not to mention they might kill our cats. But that falls in line with the slaughterhouse, right? And if they don't kill our cats, they'll just force us out, and eventually the cats will become, what, feral cats? Go to the SPCA, what, put them to sleep to put them out of their misery, because we won't be able to find another slaughterhouse that will allow us to take our cats? Or maybe we'll have to take the slaughterhouse because that's the only house that will allow us to take our cats. But once we agree to that, then, you know, we're setting ourselves up to be slaughtered, because that's basically what these houses are, because they're not freaking homes. Do you get it? A lot of blood has been spilled in this house through the instigation of others who are more than 100% corrupt. And they're going to build a box over it. So they can repeat the lie to the next tenants after everybody moves into that box. Assuming they don't leave the building empty just to make it look like they accomplished something. Right? Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that. I live in a slaughterhouse, okay? Seriously, I live in a slaughterhouse.